Have you ever prayed about a sin, cried over it, and promised God you'd never do it again, only to find yourself right back where you started? It's a painful cycle, feeling trapped by the same mistake over and over. You might wonder, why does this keep happening? Why do I feel so powerless to stop? Well, the truth is, there's a single verse in the Bible that cuts right to the heart of why we get stuck in these patterns. And if you stick with me for a bit, understanding this verse might just be the breakthrough you've been praying for. The verse is Proverbs 26:11, and it says, "As a dog returns to its vomit, so fools repeat their folly." I know that's a really harsh image, but this is God's unfiltered truth about our repeated sins. Every time we go back to that same habit, whether it's an addiction, a toxic relationship, a recurring lie, or a secret indulgence, we're not just having a weak moment or slipping up. In God's eyes, we're willingly returning to something He already freed us from. Think about it. The dog goes back to the very thing that made it sick in the first place. And in the same way, we often find ourselves drawn back to the very things that once broke us, that caused us pain, shame, and distance from God. So the big question is, why? The answer is that sin doesn't truly begin with the action itself. It starts much deeper, in the heart. He doesn't usually need to tempt you with something entirely new and foreign. He tempts you with what's familiar. He dangles the very thing that once gave you a fleeting sense of comfort, a temporary escape, or a false sense of control. He preys on the attachments you never truly let go of. But here is the most important part of this whole message, the part filled with hope. He's not pointing a finger to condemn you. He brings the darkness into the light so that He can deal with it once and for all. The Apostle Paul wrote in Romans 6:6, "For we know that our old self was crucified with Him, so that the body of sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves to sin." Do you hear that? The power of that sin, that recurring habit, was broken at the cross of Jesus Christ. The chains were shattered. But here's the catch, that freedom isn't automatic. It doesn't just happen to us passively. Freedom is a daily choice, a moment-by-moment surrender. So, every time you fall, every time you find yourself tempted to go back, you stand at a crossroads with two choices. You can return to your vomit, back to the familiar sickness of that sin, or you can return to your Father. The cycle of sin doesn't break when you grit your teeth and promise to try harder. The cycle breaks when you draw nearer to God. It shatters in the moment of humility when you finally say, "God, I can't do this on my own, I'm not strong enough." And in that moment, He gently replies, "I know you can't. That's why I gave you my Spirit to live in you and empower you." So if you've been beating yourself up, wondering why you keep failing, why you keep sinning in the same way, I want you to remember this. The core issue isn't just your weakness. We are all weak. That harsh verse from Proverbs, the one that exposes your sin, is also the very verse that's calling you back home. It's an urgent invitation to return to grace, to forgiveness, and to the power that is only found in God's presence. Today, right now, you can make a decision. You can decide that you're done returning to what hurts you. No more repeating the cycles that leave you empty. Because what God delivers you from, you don't ever have to go back to. True, lasting freedom begins the moment you stop running from the truth of your struggle and start running to the God who has all the strength you need. Today can be the day you say, "I'm done going back." Thank you so much for watching and subscribing to the channel for more content that helps you draw closer to God. We'd love to have you as part of our community. God bless.